They were TV's dynamic duo of the spy game, and their TV show became a fan phenomenon, all beginning with this opening theme music. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., starring Robert Vaughn and David McCallum, took the big screen James Bond formula and added its own special blend of high spy adventure with an ample twist of tongue-in-cheek humor.
I hate to trouble you with trivia, but I think I'm about to get killed. Goodbye.
Actually, October 18th, 1965, we were the #1 show right in the country, beating out Bonanza, Bewitched, Dick Van Dyke.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. featured Vaughn and McCallum as agents for an international law enforcement agency.
My name is Napoleon Solo.
I am Ilya Kuryakin.
And both were dedicated to fighting a certain group of nasty international bad guys.
And would that be Thrush?
Who's Thrush?
Thrush is an organization that believes the world should have a two-party system. The masters and the slaves.
I elected to break each of the moral commandments and plan it in such a way that when I broke the last commandment, I would have a power base from which I could rule the world.
From the very start, the Man from U.N.C.L.E. was a fan favorite.
My mom came to me and said, Danny, you have to see this show. I just saw it. It was the coolest thing in the world. I didn't know what a spy was, but I saw these dashing guys, running around in suits and having these gadgets, and there was cool music, and there were these beautiful, sexy women on it. That hooked me. I mean, that changed everything that happened after in my life.
Is it me that got himself tied up like a helpless child?
No, it's you who blew up the wrong computer, though. What? The real one's right here in the house.
The show not only sparked fan frenzy with its stories, but its stars also jump-started plenty of young girls' hearts.
Yeah, David was pretty hot back then, and he kind of looked a little like what I wanted my boyfriend to look like.
Well, Mr. Kuryakin, what have you found?
A few minutes ago, the president's wife was almost killed with a Thrush modified rifle.
Yes, I remember being at the White House and being told by a Secret Service agent that the president will see you now, Mr. McCallum, which is always cool. And you go up those steps past all the bougainvillea and the Marines in their uniforms and everything. And as we're going along, the agent sort of whispered in my ear, he said, "You're the reason I've got this job."
When the Beatles came to the United States in 1966, one of their requests was to meet Robert Vaughn.
At the peak of second season, the ratings, they had a 50 share, which meant that 50% of all the TV sets that were on at that point in time were turned on to U.N.C.L.E.
Laboratory report doesn't tell us much. You get more from the letter itself.
May I, sir? It's just cheap 5 and dime paper, no lead.
Mr. Waverley, you will shortly witness a prodigious feat of human strength and power. I will contact you again, Toulouse.
And Skipper, have I got a secret agent for you? She's the girl from U.N.C.L.E. Clever. She's tricky, but the evil forces of Flush have never had so gorgeous an enemy.
Hey, with enemies like that, who needs friends, huh?
Toast to the most beautiful woman in all Mexico.
How right you are.
You clumsy fool.
That's all right, Marco. He couldn't help it.
Highlight court. 10 minutes. Montezuma.
What have I got in my pocket?
Oh, I see. A small gold frog.
That was no accident, you know. That girl was murdered.
Where do I find him?
Ah, where indeed? She's somewhere up the Congo. Missionary. Stranger in a strange land.
Yes, I know the feeling.
Snare setter, pheasant fancier, partridge pincher.
You mean the local poacher? How did he die?
Inhalation of fluid resulting in asphyxia. He was drowned right here.
In the middle of a field, but that's impossible.
All the same, that's what happened. What's this?
Why, it says champagne on the label.
Over-chilled, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Garnished with white coffee and toast.
Literally?
It's the only way to travel.
Now, how much does Steve know?
Well, I'd say he had a pretty high IQ.
Right. The conclusion is obvious. You get back to your lizards and, disgusting habits.
If you don't come out, I won't give you your present.
I'm here. I've got a leak in my tuba.
The Avengers. Steed and Peel. A marvelous match. For any foe. There's just nothing like them, so they had to come back.
Paul is very hospitable.
Especially if you're fair, female, and quite beautiful.
You're quite pretty yourself.
Next to the miniskirt, England's most swinging export, the Avengers.
Welcome to Nightmare Alley.
Back again, in color on ABC.
The photo call at Teddington Studios was a gathering of fame and beauty. Patrick McNee posed with Twiggy. The Avengers star didn't want to steal the picture. He shared it with the internationally famous model. Similarly, Diana Rigg was photographed with George Manners. Everybody present had earned distinction. George as an amateur Olympics weightlifter. Much more pleasant than lifting a barbell. The main object of the call was to display the clothes and fashions the Avengers are wearing in their new series. Olympic star Linda Ludgrove, like the actors themselves, has fans in almost every country. When he was champion jockey over the sticks, Josh Gifford won his fame. Now he was admiring Diana in Alan Hughes' designs for the role of Emma Peel. Pierre Cardin's designs are eminently right for John Steed. The Avengers are already big dollar earners for Britain. Helping to dress the set, Graham Hill. He's photographed as much as the stars these days. Good luck to all concerned. More dollars urgently wanted.
I have memorized the faces of all of our security officers.
I am Nicholas Klar. Welcome to Sinfot Studios.
Louisa Lieb.
Nationality?
Austrian.
Two thieves, each with his hand so entangled in the other man's pocket that they cannot separately plunder a third.
Through data control. Correct the cost per item to 3.5. I think that will take care of the problem.
It seems to me that we started that show, and I started the show to do all these quick, obtain these secrets or identities of people and so forth. We were using that IBM machine with cards in it, you know.
Clean up the mess. I'll get a serviceman over here right away.
And then we finally graduated to the tape recorder, and that was, God, that was a lot of fun, because people always wanted to know how we did that. And they said, geez, the tape self-destructs and the smoke comes out of a tape and everything.
This recording will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
I said, that's because we didn't let you see that the prop man is down on the floor under the table with a tube and a cigarette. And then they thought that was marvelous, you know, and it was. I shouldn't be telling secrets like that.
Ah, that's great, Barney. Good. What about his Moroccan passport?
We're all experts in certain areas, and we're called on to exhibit our expertise, and other lives are at stake continually. So our team and our camaraderie is something that was, the fact that we liked each other as actors also kind of bled into the reality of the show.
I had the fun of all these unusual people who were either jailed or getting away with all kinds of things and different accents. And
Voice, I know I have heard it before. When I was young, something terrible was happening.
different ruses, you know, different playing a trapeze artist and not really being one, and all kinds of wonderful things. They were great fun, no question.
By golly, they were well done, yeah, if I do say so. So I consider that a very fortunate thing to have done in a career.
In those days, Acapulco was one of the hottest vacation spots on the planet, steeped in real glamour and absurd kitsch. A jet-set playground intended for the very rich and the picaresque, which, according to the dictionary, means smart-witted vagabonds. That was us. By the time we got there, I was far enough into writing Magic Mirror to know the elements and how the story worked. I was really jazzed, truly excited about the project, but so far I hadn't told anybody about it except Kaz and Miss Nguyen. One day we were shooting down by the docks at the edge of the bay. I saw Sheldon walking alone in the parking lot by the water. So, in a rash moment, I decided to tell him about it. How excited I was about the script and about the teaser I wanted to shoot with Miss Nguyen, on water skis, zipping across Acapulco Bay in the slant red light of sunset, so glamorous, so perfect for the story. I'd never done this before, never tried to tell Sheldon about anything I was doing, certainly not anything I cared about. And in my enthusiasm, I had forgotten the first rule regarding Sheldon drilled into Bill and me by Carl Reiner long ago. Never show him anything before you do it, not if you care about it. I rambled on and on like an idiot until I realized I was explaining the story to him rather than telling it, because he simply wasn't getting it.
There were more action scenes in that show in the 4 years it was on the air than any show ever. Everything was fresh. We never recycled anything. Split those pants out, probably a couple hundred times. I was seriously injured.
In 1965, when the Wild Wild West hit the airwaves, the West got a lot wilder. The show was original not only in its spies in the Old West concept, but in its rip-roaring action sequences. Unlike most series stars, Robert Conrad was an enthusiastic participant and rarely used a stunt double.
I did 99% of them. There were a few sophisticated stunts, the trampoline stuff that I didn't know how to do, but I choreographed, and along with Whitey Hughes, all the action sequences.
Bravo, Mr. West.
They went on and on. It wasn't a simple two-punch fight with a lot of actors being doubled by, stuntmen, cuts and so on. It was big. It was dramatic, and it was a ballet.
The same group of stuntmen appeared every week on the Wild Wild West, and that was one of the series' trickiest stunts.
The audience never got hip to it. We changed their costumes, their disguises, and we used to hire the actors to fit the stuntmen. That's the truth.
With Conrad as their ringleader, the stuntmen were a tight-knit, macho fraternity.
I went 15 feet to the concrete. I had a 6-inch lineal fracture of the skull, high temporal concussion, and a broken fifth vertebrae.
Even co-star Ross Martin and guest stars like Michael Dunn, who played the villainous Dr. Miguelito Loveless, were eager to prove their courage.
I'm afraid, Miguelito. I'm afraid to die. Don't worry, my darling. Everything will be all right. We shall both
he insisted on doing his own stunts and was injured and was carted off to the hospital. And you know, in a very strange way, like being in that club, the injured club. I mean, it's a pretty pathetic thing to say, but there was a certain status to saying, "There's my Purple Heart, babe." And Mike, he joined. So did Ross. Ross broke his arm, his leg, I believe. No one escaped injury.
By 1970, politicians were calling for an end to violence on television, and the Wild Wild West was canceled. Conrad says the show only spoofed violence, but because of all the injuries, it was probably a good time to quit. Still, he has no regrets, and he's proud of his corps of valiant men.
For our time, I say this with some humility, we were the best.
Before Hitler turned the world to flames, American correspondent David March fled to Germany, posing as a traitor to his own country. Accepted by the Nazi high command, March worked as a double agent to destroy the Third Reich from within, under the code name Blue Light.
Danger Man, the series that inspired The Prisoner and launched its star on the road to success. Patrick McGowan is Special Agent John Drake.
Well, that explains a lot of things.
He travels the globe in a deadly game of international espionage.
Without him, the whole place would blow up.
Criminals hate him.
We will make quite certain of that.
Women adore him.
It'll be my pleasure.
And everyone loves to watch him.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
See one of the small screen's biggest names.
An impressive performance.
In the series that set new trends in television adventure.
A personal tribute to his leadership and popularity.
Patrick McGowan in Danger Man.
There's a man who leads a life of danger. Everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. Read every move he makes, another chance he takes. Odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they've given you a number and taken away your name.
I am not a number. I am a person.
There was definitely a sense that that this was going to be different. It wasn't just another ITC show.
It's weird. I mean, which one of you?
I am the original. He is the economy pack.
Well, because it's absorbing, intriguing, and strangely mesmeric.
Maybe I could help.
Pawn to Queen's 4.
How?
Pawn to Queen's 4.
How?
Pawn to Queen's 4.
Never before has a program challenged the conventions of television with such audacity as The Prisoner.
I feel the nevertheless.
Never before has the series managed to enchant and infuriate the sensibility of the viewer.
That's it. Take. That's it. Take. 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 Take.
40 years on, the program refuses to be confined, intimidated, or to fade away.
Right from the beginning, one felt this is something odd and clever. Yeah, inventive, if you like. Creative. Original.
But then you see it was experimental. I mean, I think the main curiosity was that each episode was totally different.
There wasn't one specific direction for you to understand. You could look at the series and think, oh, I get that bit, and someone else said, well, I get that bit, but it doesn't match that bit. It doesn't matter. Everyone's got a different opinion.
It clearly hasn't aged. In fact, it's something that's impossible to place in any time because it evolves continuously.
We thought you would feel happier as yourself.
The issues The Prisoner raised in 1967 are as contemporary as anything occurring in the 21st century.
Just fill in your race, religion, hobbies, what you like to read, what you like to eat,
what you were, what you want to be? Any family illnesses?
We wonder who's watching us, for what reason. You see all the CCTV cameras, whether it's on the roads or whether it's in the streets. You think, oh my goodness, we're all becoming members of the same village.
I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered.
Wait! Wait! Be still! Turn back!
Despite the passage of time, the prisoner retains its individuality and, by association, its phenomenal fan base. Quite simply, there's never been anything like it.
Don't knock yourself out.
All right?
Fine.
Lucky you've got quick reflexes. I'd better drive you home.
Thanks. I think I've just been elected into a rather exclusive club.
Oh, what's that?
The League of Grateful Women, whose lives have been saved by the famous Simon Templar.
Wednesday night will also be a big night for Checkmate Incorporated. My young associates will be along with me to open our new offices on Wednesday night. The objective of our organization is to checkmate crimes before they happen. Just how we put this theory into practice is the tense hour-long drama you'll see each week.
To go ahead. Do? Oh, no. Oh, Debbie. Oh. Kidnapping, attempted murder, conspiracy. Me, the state of California can be very intolerant. Ooh. Yeah, I'm a bit bruised, I fear, but it's been quite a while since my commando days.
Robert Wagner stars as Alexander Mundy. Nothing's safe from Alexander Mundy.
Nothing. Alexander Mundy has what it takes.
It takes a thief.
What makes you think President Havels is going to be playing our record? He may not even like our kind of music.
You mean, how do I think they're going to get to him? Bomb and music all together at one time?
Right.
I don't know. That's our baby. Special pass.
Leaving man.
Baby, baby, you know it's true. I'm a puppet just for you. I'll do anything you say. I won't have it any other way. Take my heart and take my soul, giving you complete control. If you want to see me do my thing, pull my string, pull my string. Puppet man, puppet man, puppet man. Baby, baby, I'm your sweet It's Burke's Law.
Gene Barry, starring as Amos Burke, secret agent.
A foreign spy arrives by the name of U-31. On his first day in, he's done in by a hit and run.
Gotta find a man with the same face as 31, but who? Henry Fife.
He swears him in and gives all the info to Henry Fife. He must never talk to a soul about his secret life.
You are now the spy. You must now lead a double life. Who, me? Henry Fife.
If he could only keep his disguise a big mystery, this could be the greatest deception in history.
With a little luck, he might even fool the enemy. Who, me? Henry Fife.
Oh, hi out there in television land.
It hit the airwaves when spies were hot.
Who are you?
Bond. James Bond. And the war was cold. Get Smart gave the role of a lifetime to a 42-year-old comedian named Don Adams.
You see, I happen to have a very distinctive and unique voice.
I said, who wrote it? They said, Mel Brooks and Buck Henry. I said, I'll do it.
We fantasized Bond and Clouseau having a child. And who would that be?
Maxwell Smart.
Max was my James Bond.
Hello, Chief.
Get Smart boasted zany gadgets
Very ingenious.
and trademark sayings.
Sorry about that, Chief. Just stick by that much.
A sexy sidekick named 99 had Agent 86's number.
You'll be in extreme danger every minute.
And loving it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Well, poor 99. He didn't notice she was a girl at all.
Comic chaos was caused by a cast of unforgettable characters.
We meet again. Maxwell Smart.
For Don Adams, it was the best of times and the worst of times.
You will never know the pressure of turning out a successful comedic series.
I do think that it stepped on a lot of feelings.
He had all of the burden of setting the pace of the show and keeping it there.
Don Adams and Get Smart set the pace in TV comedy for 5 seasons, 7 Emmys, and beyond.
Austin Powers owes some allegiance to Get Smart.
These airplane movies and these Naked Gun movies were really sort of Get Smart 20 years later.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Almost. All right, into the closet. Just as I thought. There's room for both of you.
It was different than anything else in its era, and it was genuinely funny.
Never was as happy as I was on Get Smart, and I never worked as hard. But when you're doing something that you really like, you really enjoy, and you really believe in, you don't mind the work.
We have to shoot and kill and destroy. We represent everything that's wholesome and good in the world.
'77 Sunset Strip,
starring Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
'77 Sunset Strip,
Roger Smith.
'77 Sunset Strip,
Edward Byrne.
'77 Sunset Strip,
and Richard Long. Produced by Warner Brothers.
He's always excited over whatever it is he and these other men are cooking up.
Well, just who are these other men?
There's a Mr. Anton from the East and a Mr. Haight.
Benny Haight?
Yes, I believe so. Why?
Oh, I just thought I'd heard of a Benny Haight.
Trapped you, you cad.
Lonnie.
Always knew Jeff was a fast man with the chicks, but not this fast.
Oh, Lonnie, really, it wasn't anything.
I know, baby. You go on back to Dino's and wait for me.
Thank you, Jeff.
Pleasure. Some girl.
Believe it or not, this is a private detective. The name? Honey West.
Honey West, be smart, stay alive, forget about Selby.
This is her partner, Sam Bolt. Sam worries a lot.
Deadly. A real blade man. He's trying hard to make the top 10. 5 jobs in 2 weeks, and all celebrities.
Really, it sounds like he's right out of James Bond.
Don't let her looks fool you. As a detective, honey, aims to please. And who can argue with a perfect 38? Caliber, that is. Remember Friday, September 17th. Don't miss the premiere of Honey West, the private eye to criminal slipover on ABC.
Hawaiian Eye.
Hawaiian Eye.
Hawaiian Eye.
Starring Anthony Isley.
Hawaiian Eye.
Robert Conrad.
The soft island breeze.
And Connie Stevens.
Strange melodies.
With Poncy Ponce.
Hawaiian Eye.
Produced by Warner Brothers.
Hawaiian Eye. Hawaiian Eye.
All this week, Nick at Night brings you Connie, Hawaiian Eye style. That's right, 5 nights of Hawaiian Eye featuring Connie Stevens singing her greatest Hawaiian Eye hits. You'll hear. You'll also get. And old favorites like. Oh, yeah. But that's not all. Act Now and Nick at Night will throw in these fights, this shootout, and a car driving into a lake. Don't send money, don't ring this number. Just tune into Undercover every night this week at 9:30 on Nick at Night.
Who are you?
The name is Mannix.
Private investigator.
You hired me to find out what happened. This time you're going to tell me the truth.
Who were you going to punch in the mouth to get the information?
Does it make any difference?
Thanks for the trouble.
Wait till you get my bill.
Mannix, weekdays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on HNI.
I couldn't help overhearing. My name is Mannix. I'm a private detective.
The priest didn't seem to want to do anything.
Well, you can't really blame him. After all, it was a question of her not remembering enough.
During my 7 years in this profession, Mr. Wade, no one has ever seen my face.
The girl. You're going to kill the girl, too?
That's it. Shut up. Don't kill me. We just can't sit here. I told you all about everything.
Pete?
It's a train. Guns in here. I didn't tell him anything. The boy, fellas. It's a train. He made me call. No, he had a gun in my head. No. No. Picked a fine time.
I get bugged when people hang up on me. I told Lieutenant Jacoby where you were.
Sometimes you get lucky. You take a chance on a bluff and it pays off. Most of the time, when you get mixed up with men like Fallon, the wrong people get killed. This time was no exception.